Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and I'm happy to welcome you to our weekly roundtable trading discussion webinar. We'll start in about a minute. We'll just let or give an opportunity to people that are late to come in. So let's give them another minute or two. I'll be right back. Okay, let's start. Whoever comes late, I will be late. Again, happy Wednesday. Hello, everyone. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and we're starting our weekly webinar. The title's on the screen, by the way. Please type OK or yes into the question window if you can hear me and see me, or not see me, but see the screen. I would appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Eric. So you can hear me and see the screen as well, right? Please just confirm that you could see the screen as well. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Miriam. Okay, so welcome everyone. We have some regular people, and I can see some new people that I didn't see them before, so welcome to all of you. And I hope that today's session will be more dynamic than the one before. We didn't really manage to squeeze questions out of people, and that was kind of a I don't like to be in a position of a dentist pulling the teeth, if you're getting what I'm saying. And again, just try to be active, and we'll make it fun and we'll make it useful. Okay, few things about myself. This is me, Simon Friedman, Senior Account Manager with AvaTrade. My overall experience in June will be 23 years since I started to trade, and that was back in New York when the bubble burst in 2000, and in June of 2000 I came to trading. Seen a lot of things. I've made and lost a lot of money through these years, and I'm happy that I was able to be part of the professional trading team on Wall Street for about 11 years. And after that, I moved on and I started to mentor and educate other traders. And of course, I never stopped trading. Trading is my passion. I love it. I live it. And I like to share my experience and my knowledge with people that I work with at AvaTrade. The webinar works in a very simple way. A participant asks a specific question about specific asset. We'll try to discuss it. We'll look at the charts and try to make some sense out of it. And we'll have time up to an hour, and depends how many questions we have. I'll be happy to stay the whole hour and answer your questions. That would be the best thing. And if we run out of questions, we close the webinar. That's been the case until now. These are the channels that I highly recommend that you follow. You have Twitter, you have Telegram, and I highly recommend, of course, YouTube. It's being updated on a daily basis. A lot of webinars are being posted. A lot of educational material are there, tutorials and so on, daily market reviews. Really, you can subscribe. You can click on that bell and receive updates on new things coming in. And a risk warning, you can find the full statement at avatrade.com. Of course, everything we do here, it's purely educational. And let's start. And who's going to be the pioneer today with a specific question? Again, feel free, ask the question, let's discuss it, and let's have some fun on the way. So Eric is asking gold, how high, low? Let's take a look. We'll take a look at gold, daily chart. And of course, first question to audience. What do you guys think about gold? And of course, Eric, you're going to be the first one to answer your own question to your best ability. Please go ahead. And again, while Eric is typing, I just want to explain, and I say it every week, and I will not stop saying it. The purpose of me doing this webinar is really to get you to the point that you'll be able to make your own decisions. And the best illustration to it, I'll just share with you the way I look at trading. I don't mind collecting information. Even until now, sometimes I watch YouTube channels I have few friends that we used to work on Wall Street. I watch them, I respect them, I get ideas. But when it comes to execute the trade, I use my own expertise, my own opinion, my own sixth sense sometimes, whatever it is. That in the saying, you can give a man a fish and he will be fed for a day, or you can teach him how to fish, he will be fed for life. So I prefer to give you the skills instead of just giving you that fish, and in this case just a simple answer. So I would like all of us to think of every question and try to really find our own opinion, and this way we're going to train that muscle of thinking as a trader. Okay, so Eric is saying herd is going higher. I'm not going to ask the source of that. If you remember, we spoke about gold. I think every week we have still that question, and gold is one of the mostly traded instruments. And if you remember, Eric, maybe last week also I mentioned this. We broke through the resistance that we had. That was last week. The resistance here was 1878, 1879 almost. We broke through it and we closed on the highs. So if you take a daily chart, we moved straight in the direction to the highs. Now, what's next? It depends. It depends what dollar is going to be doing. It depends what the equity market's going to be doing. It depends what data is coming in. Depends, we're entering. It's all connected today. Major instruments. You have gold, U.S. dollar, equities. They all kind of connected. It's a global market, global economy. So we entered the earnings season for the stocks for the fourth quarter of last year, and we had some results and so on. So it depends on a lot of things. Now, technically speaking, let's start from the monthly chart. Technically speaking, we can continue higher, and I like to look all the way to the left, and I hope it makes sense to you. I like to see when things stop. So this was the very strong move on gold, and this was the month of August of 2011. Can you imagine that? 2011, August, the high was 1911.98. Okay, and then from that, we went in a long journey to down. Now, and also, this is another thing that I'd like to share with you. It's very important to look at the history, where the instrument is coming from, where it made stops, where it didn't make stops, where was the weakness, where was the strength. So here, it's obvious. We came all the way to here. The following month, we made a spike higher but closed lower. And from that, for years, we've been going lower. And this was starting September of 2011 all the way to December of 2015. So we're talking about 4 years and 3 months. We've been going lower till we hit this low. And then from there, we start slowly climbing. We made a higher high than previous, a higher low. Then we made resistance around these levels. Then we came back to that resistance, didn't touch it, came back to the support. And then we broke through this resistance that we didn't manage to break for years. Finally, we broke it in 2019 in June. From there, we went all the way straight up. We went easily through this resistance here around 1910, and we made a historical high back in August of 2020. Okay, so it took 9 years to come back to the same level, and we broke through it and made a new high. And then we tried again, we came back down, we tried again to break the highs on the highs we made actually 2070. Let's see what's here. The high was here 2075. We were $5 short of all-time highs, and then we went lower. Now, as of now, this is a long history, right? And if I'm boring you with that, I apologize. But without seeing the history, it's hard to understand why certain things happen. So take a look. We stop at the same level here. That was 2021 in May. Then we sold out. Then we play around. A lot of actions happening around this 1910 level. Why? Because a long time ago, before some people were born. Sorry for my sarcasm. We couldn't break through that level, and we came. So we currently at that level specifically, and that's why we're having a hard time. So here's your combination. Fundamentals, it's unknown. The truth is, as long as the Fed's increasing the rates, then dollar might continue higher, even though it's sold out pretty much. If you take a look at US dollar, this is one of the reasons why gold is strong. US dollar has been really selling off since the highs. So if you take two charts, try to do some homework, take two charts, they go in the opposite directions most of the time. So that's the question. What dollar is going to do next? What Feds are going to do next? And the end of January, I think January 31st, February 1st, it's the next decision of the Feds. And that might determine the next move of gold. So as of this moment, we could go either way. And it's funny. It's like me going through the long story and then telling you we can go either way, just saying, why is he wasting our time? But that's the truth. At this point, we're really fighting over this level. As you could see, we closed above it, we held through it, so it showed, okay, we're going higher, and then we closed yesterday below it, and today, with the spikes up and down, we are below it. So there's a chance that we're gonna slide at least to this level here that used to be a resistance and confirm it as a support. And that would be a very nice bullish sign. So we might slide, 23, about 33 points, and hit this level and confirm it as a support. We might fly straight higher and shop for next level of resistance, or we might come in. If the dollar will increase the value aggressively, we might come in below 1877 and then go and retest the next level down. Okay, that's as far as gold. I hope it makes sense. And again, please spend some time going left on the big time frame and taking a look why certain things happen. Like, think, you see this right here? Because of this. All right. I hope it helped, Eric. Let's go with the next question. Who's going to be a next brave man or woman? Next question, please. You're welcome, Eric. There's a 5-second rule. You have to ask the question within 5 seconds. Otherwise, we're not going to go forward. So I hope there's pretty much many people today, and I'm sure some of you have the question, and I'm sure you're going to have brave. You're going to be brave. Okay, oil. Let's talk about oil. It's not fair. Eric is saving the day. He's asking second question. I'm happy he's asking questions. I hope somebody else has this question lined up. Okay. When we talk oil, I assume you're asking about crude oil, so I'll bring it up. What do you think, Eric, about oil? Guys, if you're not asking questions, which I hope you will, maybe you would participate in answers also. That would be also amazing. Stupid questions, there's no stupid answers. The only ones that you didn't ask. So let's share opinions about oil. And I appreciate if somebody has some opinion about oil, so we can share opinions. That would be amazing. Crude oil. Eric, do you have an opinion? You can respond if you'd like. It's moving up, weather related or else. Okay. by chance, actually, today I just the article I think on Bloomberg just popped up, and Saudi is saying that they're feeling that demand for oil is going to come up. So that's fundamental part. China is kind of recovering, which is also a questionable thing because they stopped all the limitations as far as COVID, and immediately the cases are skyrocketing, and a lot of people are dying there. And also demographics are not so great. I think it's the first time in history it's the growth slowing down, and they say it's not really good for the future. I'm not a big professional in that area. Basically, less people are being born than normal. That's what they say. So China also, oil went up on China recovering. China is one of the biggest, I think, after US, biggest buyers or importers of oil. So weather related, definitely, but it's a tricky one because natural gas is also very sensitive to the weather, and this winter we had really controversial reports. One day they say it's going to be a crazy cold winter, then it's going to be a mild winter, and so on. So you're absolutely right. There are things, but it's very hard to put to measure that aspect of fundamentals, the weather. We can't really predict the weather. The other day I was checking the weather in my local weather, and there was Saturday night. It was like 2 weeks ago, and it said it's going to be very clear skies. And I had the meeting about 30 minutes away. So I jumped on my motorcycle, and 10 minutes on the way, it was pouring rain. So I got soaked wet, and it was scary riding motorcycle in the rain. Thank God everything was okay, but it's not the reason I brought the story. It's just, even if they say the weather is going to be great, you don't know. So the weather is a shaky one. We can't really form our opinion on that, but it's a good point. So back to oil. So fundamentally, we said Saudis are saying demand should grow. China is big hope for oil. Russia, it's a very tricky one. They put, I think, they put a cap of $60 for everybody who's buying Russian oil. I'm not really sure until now how it really affects oil itself. But technically speaking, the same thing. We start looking left, and this is a monthly chart. We keep on hitting the same level. Weekly chart, we keep on hitting the same area around here, around $82, $83. So we keep on doing the same thing in a tight range, about $10, $11, $12, as you could see from here. If you take this bar right here, or candle, this is a weekly candle, and that's first week of December of last year. So the range of this candle is $70 low and $82.70 high, $12.70 or $12.61 to be precise. So we're still trading within that range. There was a really large range, even though we had larger days. Take a look at this day right here. It's, I think, war related. That's what the war started in February. How about this range? Anyway, I'm not going to go back into this thing, but we're still, so oil could do anything at this point. We need to break above this large candle or below it for anything to happen. As of now, we're just hitting the head, and take a look. Today is the great example. Take a look. We sold out. We made the lower low from here, and the high here was 82.70, the same level that we just mentioned. And today we hit high of 82.64, and we rejected that level. So oil, it looks like it wants to run. All the fundamentals, based on what you said and other things, are kind of showing to the upside, but we would need to break this 82, 83 level and start establishing support for it to show some strength and continuing going upside. Otherwise, at some point, buyers might get tired, and we're going to go and retest the lows again, which is also possible. So we're sitting between 100 moving average, 100-day moving average, and 50-day moving average. We're trying to test and break through 100, and let's see what happens. Okay, that's as far as oil. Next question, guys. Please let Eric rest. I would like to hear some questions from anybody else, and I will be happy to address that. Let's go. And it's a 5-second rule. We're 20 minutes into the webinar. And if we don't have a question, I will be very sad, but I will have to close it because this is not a presentation. This is discussion, and topic has to come from you. Okay, we do have a question. As a beginner, is it better to start with Forex instruments before going to other instruments? I can't really recommend. It depends. When you say as a beginner, there are too many aspects about it. You want to learn trading, you have limited funds, you don't want to risk a lot. There's so many sub questions here, so I would know. And again, this is kind of out of scope of our webinar, but I will be happy to try to answer your question. You know, CFD trading is it's considered to be mostly Forex for some reason, and you understand why, because in Forex you can trade more with less money because the leverage in Forex is higher than anything else. And some people love it. I have customers that never switch from Forex and just trade Forex. I have customers that don't touch Forex. They come to trade commodities. People with experience, without experience. So again, it's not my place to recommend or first of all, if you do have an account manager, you can discuss it with him or her. And I'm sure they're gonna try to help you. It's a conversation. You know, they would need to know your background, your desires, your plans, your financial situation, and so on. So they'll be able to give you a few pointers there. Okay. Like I said, the level of your experience, it's not the determining factor of which part or what part of market you should be trading. Okay, I hope it helps. Eric is asking, any idea of Netflix earnings tonight? Let me call CEO, find out. You hold on for 5 minutes. Of course, I really don't know what's happening. And this earnings season is very interesting. You take yesterday, two banks reported yesterday, and I think Netflix is not today; it's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Please double check. I think it's on the 19th. I remember it from preparing my weekly webinar over the weekend. So please double check. I think it's 19th after the market. But earnings are very tricky ones. Yesterday, two big banks reported. And there was Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley went up $6. Goldman Sachs went down $7. Sorry, percent. I think 6% up, and the other one 7% down. So we can definitely take a look at Netflix. How the earnings are going to be, nobody knows. They changed the model. They have different kind of subscriptions now, that you pay less and you get advertisement and so on. Some analysts, it's a very controversial also opinion on big analysts. Some say it's going to be great for the stock price. Others are not so happy about it. But you know, predicting earnings, it's not really something that anybody could and should do, unless you're a fundamental trader like Warren Buffett. That's his main thing. He's focusing on value stocks, and he's looking for stocks with a steady earnings quarter after quarter. So I'm not sure if he holds Netflix actually, because it's been super jumpy. Okay, Eric. Guys, next question, please. We're 25 minutes into the webinar. Thank you for the questions that we had until now, and I would like to hear some new people and some interesting assets to discuss. I really love doing that, so I hope that rubs on you a little bit. Okay, anybody? 5 seconds rule. I don't want to count. Let's just do it. Next question, please, guys. Listen, I hope really, I want you to ask the question and get your answer, and I want you to come back next week and do it again. And this way, a week after week, a month after month, you'll become a better trader by understanding things, by practicing what you learn, by developing yourself as a trader. This is the hard work. Like I said, I've been doing it for 22 years. It doesn't come in 1 year, in 1 month. I also know traders that become successful off the bat. It's all individual, but it requires work. Okay, guys, do we have a question? All right. I guess no. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I hope that this was useful for you. I hope there will be more questions next time, and I wish everyone a great and successful week. Eric, please check on that Netflix earnings, and thank you all. All the best. Have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are.